Last time on Suikoden, we did another draft episode and got a whole lot of new characters, even if I did have to go back in time because Luke is the worst. But hey, we got a cool new room out of it, and by cool new room, I mean they moved the bed. Anyway though, I think it's about time we do another arc, don't you? We gotta complete another major mission, cause I mean, come on, we haven't bugged the Empire nearly enough recently. It's only been one episode since we killed a vampire, but trust me, we have not been doing enough. Good question, Flick, good question. Alright, well, Humphrey's being obtuse, so I suppose we'll learn what his deal is in a few minutes. For the time, though, he's going to mumble to himself. Oh yeah, that guy we met once. You remember Qasim Hazel, right? He was in the castle, he's kinda nice to us. You remember him. Alright, so we're gonna go and do that then? Wow, Humphrey, you're talking a lot. Alright, well, I suppose since we're not exactly ready to fight any of the major armies just yet, then we should ally ourselves with the Dragon Knights. No reason not to. Okay, I said no reason not to. Just because it might be a little difficult doesn't mean I'm gonna turn around now. Okay, so Flick and Humphrey are both going to join us for this mission. And of course, we've got 3 more characters to choose from. And one of them was clear-cut, and the other 2 were decided via coin flip, because the other 2 were kinda tied just a tiny little bit. So, the characters we're going to be bringing are Aikai, Clive, and Quanda. So yeah, 2 of them were actually tied, Aikai and Quanda. Aikai was actually tied with Peshmerga. Clive, on the other hand, was actually very clearly the winner. He was actually the only person at 75%, so yeah, people seem to like Clive. So of course, Aikai is a melee fighter, being a, martial arts master and all. Clive, fitting to his name, is a gunman. And Quanda, of course, you know him. You are probably still kind of ambivalent about him. I kind of feel sorry for him, but, I mean, he did kind of do a genocide. Which, again, he was brainwashed, which it's kind of important that he was, otherwise I would not be able to forgive him. Anyway, I gave Aikai the double beat rune, Clive got the wind rune, and Quanda got the gale rune. The gale rune just makes him go faster, which he desperately needs, especially at such a low level. Clive's not really the best mage, but I figured I'd give him the wind rune anyway, because I kinda want magic runes on me. And Aikai's got the double beat rune, which, true to its name, allows the user to attack twice in a row, though it doesn't play a separate animation, it just, it's more damaging. It does have one drawback in that apparently if you get counterattacked, you receive double damage. I didn't see that in this episode. Nobody counterattacked Aikai. So either they were just not very good enemies, maybe soldiers do a better job at that sort of thing, or Aikai's just really good. Or maybe I'm just lucky, who knows? Well, actually, I can't say I'm terribly lucky, but we'll get to that soon enough. Alright, so I'm going to cut over to Dragon's Den because we've got a lot of back and forth to do, which is kind of annoying. So yeah, over here's the Dragon's Den. It's a ways away, so you'll probably get into a few battles up here, so let's talk to this guy. After a long journey, well, it's not that long, but still, it felt long. Oh, well, that's anticlimactic. Okay, not even the Emperor, but what about friends? Did he specify friends? I feel like friends are more important than the Emperor. Alright, well, we did all that for nothing. Alright, well, you're being very specific, so I can only assume that's going to conveniently be the place we need to go. Alright, back to Anti then. Woo. Oh boy. You've got a great attitude that's not going to get you beaten up, my dude. Wow, somehow this man found something worse than, hey, could you do this for exposure? Wow, I can't believe you went beneath the bottom of the barrel. And unfortunately you have a portrait, meaning we probably have to recruit you at some point. Damn you, Stars of Destiny, you are cruel! Okay, first of all, I have not seen any starving children in this game. Second off, I really doubt that. I don't know why I don't feel this man is very charitable or trustworthy. No. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm not working with you on that one. I mean, I trust a lot of people. It's gonna be up to 108 at some points. I haven't counted recently, but it's still a lot of people I trust. Okay, well, I'd find this suspicious, but we haven't mentioned Joshua at all, so I guess he was genuinely and conveniently going up there himself. Not me. Oh, well, he stole the money from our pockets, but also it was only 200 bits. You should easily have that if you do any fights on the way here. Or, you know, at all in the game. I think it would actually be more difficult to not have the money by this point. In fact, I don't know what happens if you don't. Either way, though, yeah, we have to go back to the Dragon's Den, so yeah, that's a whole lot of back and forth for this. I mean, I know they wanted a different introduction scene for Vincent, but I don't know. They did seem to intend for you to warp to Anti, so like, maybe they could have just had that scene play when you first warped there, since, you know, even Sanchez was like, hey, you know, maybe you should go to Anti to get to Dragon's Den, because that's pretty close. Wink. You know, I'll admit, it is pretty impressive that a man made of bullshit was actually able to make it all the way over here. Not anymore because I don't want to associate with you. Please do not insult the man who's doing his job. Don't encourage him, Humphrey. Okay, like, I can't tell if he actually knows these people, or, like, if he's just making this up on the spot. And, I mean, like, he's right, but, like, I don't know, he doesn't seem like the informed type. I mean, to be fair, I am just assuming he's a complete idiot, but I guess he's a knowledgeable idiot. Oh, well, that's why that out-of-place rock was just sitting right there. Flick, I like your attitude. Hey, you didn't even capitalize your that. You're no aristocrat. Your grammar is horrible. I bet you spelled grammar with an E, you monster. Oh, cool. Well, thanks. Yeah, real cool of him to just thrust us into a monster-filled cave. Ah, well. You know, I kind of figured we'd be going to a monster-filled cave. That's kind of how it always goes in this game. Anyway, yeah, this is a cave. It's boring. It looks like a cave. It's got the usual soundtrack for a cave. It's got floating shields like a... Actually, no, that's not a usual staple of these. Alright, so, magic shields aren't really all that bad. They have extremely low HP and they're weak to electricity if you need that, so I guess Flick would be useful. I mean, I guess to be fair, that guy survived and did do quite a bit of damage to the entire party. So, kill them quickly, I guess. Any group attack should actually finish them off quickly, so if you have some good options, then those things aren't really going to be a problem at all. Like, again, Flick would be excellent for them. I just didn't want to waste any spell slots with him. Because there's someone else we need to see in this cavern. Ho-ho boy. He's not going to come up till later, though. These, of course, are the black elementals. Like the elementals before them, they are surprisingly fast. Not very damaging, though, so don't worry about them too much. But actually, to be fair, with the magic shields, they can be kind of dangerous because those fast shots are going to stack up with the magic shield's party attack. That being said, I did shoot that one to death with a critical. Oh, Clive, you are pretty darn good. Oh, and I believe the black elementals are weak to fire. So, yeah, if you have a fire rune user, then use them. Oh, also, I have, like, some of the upgraded elemental runes. I didn't realize that the Rage Rune was actually the upgraded fire rune, so I'm dumb. I'll go over those later when they're more relevant, but I should start equipping those to people soon. Anyway, we definitely need a heal after that, because, oh boy, those party attacks really build up. It's a good thing we have level 15 weapons to kill people quickly. Otherwise, this dungeon might be kinda tough. Because there are just a lot of damaging enemies that just attack everyone now. Including the one I keep alluding to, who should be appearing not in this room but the next one? This is a pretty short dungeon, which is nice, but at the same time, it's also pretty damn bland. Again, it looks like a cave. That's the best way I can describe this. It's really not that interesting. And I believe the only enemies left to see, well, the only one singular, is the Sunshine King. Thankfully, he appeared alone this time. He is weak to wind and the Resurrection Rune, strong against fire. He's got a fuck ton of HP as well, at 16,000, or 1,600 rather, that's 1,600, that's the number, just FYI. Don't mind me, I'm dumb. Now, I managed to kill him in one turn. Sunshine King is incredibly slow, which is his biggest weakness, but if you don't get enough crits, or if you don't use magic, he's got a party attack, which honestly isn't that powerful. It's weaker than the magic shields. And yeah, as you can see, he had the sound setting number 3. He's got a 1.96% chance of dropping that, and also here's some Looney Tunes shit, and yeah, it took me like half an hour to grind Sunshine Kings to get that, so unfortunately, I didn't have the same luck I had in Sony Air Prison. Anyway, sorry about dropping in, Milia. I don't know who you are, I'm glad you're wearing a name tag, but I was just doing some Looney Tunes shit up there. It's kind of weird that this game got really cartoony out of nowhere, and hey, Futch, how's it going? Wow, it's been ages. You know, you're less of a dick when Ted's around. Was he a bad influence on you or something? I mean, if they are always like this, then they're pretty damn adorable. Look at them. Look at that sleeping dragon. He's so cute. I mean, like, she doesn't have to. We are kind of trespassing. Also, Humphrey, how many times are you gonna say that? That's his fucking I am Inigo Montoya speech. Well, not really much of a speech, it's only a few lines. It's the thing he says a lot. Alright, well, let's go follow them then. Okay, so, before we go, you definitely want to make it to the next area, just in case you have to warp back, because do remember, if you have to warp back to HQ then come back, you gotta go through the dungeon again. I'm pretty sure you don't want to do that. Anyway, though, so yeah, this is where the Dragon Knights live. Also, here's this man. He's a ninja. He's just hanging out. Here's the thing about the color red, especially amongst a sort of like grayish and brown area. I'm just gonna say, it's not good. Not a good color for a ninja. Alright, well, let's recruit this weirdo. So yeah, that's Fuma. He's just hanging out. I mean, to be fair, you probably aren't going to check back there unless you know there's somebody back there, but, like, if you did happen to wander down that way, you're not gonna miss him. He's wearing bright red and standing still, so he won't walk out of view. Well, to be fair, at least he isn't like Ted, who was just fucking 12 forever. Alright, so here's a relatively important character. So, this is Krauts. Or, Krauts? Nah, it's gotta be Krauts. What's going on? Said the very angry man who probably does not like Humphrey. So, yes, this is Emperor Gale. Remember that War of Succession? Yeah, Emperor Gale was the man that Barbarossa fought. So, Krauts worked under him. He's, not very happy for that reason, but now that we're all fighting Barbarossa, maybe there's a chance Krauts will actually join us. There were also a few other people who were very loyal to Emperor Gale, but to my knowledge, I don't think they were named. There's not a lot of information on them. Krauts is most certainly the most important of the lot, and also the most alive, if I remember correctly. He's pretty damn alive in comparison to those other guys. I don't think they had a good time at the end of the War of Succession. And the very angry man joined us. I'm kind of hoping nobody votes for him because he's quite intense. Though to be fair, I don't know, maybe we should bring him up against the final boss, you know, go up and kill Barbarossa with him. That might not be a bad idea. By the way, that lady allows us to rest, so, you know, free rest. You might want to take her up on that, especially if you ground against the fucking Sunshine Kings. I'm Humphrey Mins. I was part of the 100-man battalion. I know you know that already, but like I felt like saying that again. Alright, going well so far. Alright, yeah, he's gonna join us for sure. We got this in the bag. Basic civilities. Hell yeah. I'm a master at negotiation. And I'm really tempted to choose the second option. Technically speaking, they lead to the same place, but we'll be serious here. Yes, look at us, serious. I am the small child with 2 bandanas, who very much wants to ride on a dragon. However, held back from asking that because he's very serious and good at negotiations. We don't want to ask for too much up front. Though, even if we did ask for that, we can't because the dragons are sleeping. Yeah, really weird the Dragon Knights can't go on without dragons, huh? Yeah, he's pretty good. Alright, so, Flick's kind of, very business-minded right now. Come on, man. He's gonna be right in our pockets. We can do this! Yep, it's a good thing we have Lucan with us. Anyway, I'm just gonna rob you real quick. Gonna get the window setting too. And, I checked this bookshelf first, but that's not where the item is. And then I got stuck behind a table. But, yeah, this is where the old book volume 4 is. And, hey, Amelia, how's it going? Alright, well, bye. So, yeah, if you want to make this shorter, you can bring Lucan, you know, with you through the caves on your first pass, but, I didn't. I don't... I think he's on the poll, but nobody voted for him. But also, I don't really like using Lucan. He's a short-ranged character who's also an old man. He's not really like... Well, he's okay, actually. Just not amazing. Alright, my diagnosis is... they're sleeping. Oh, well, that's not disconcerting at all. Hell yeah, we had to find the moonlight weed. Okay, Milia's way better at naming things. Thrash is cool as hell, whereas Fletch is just like, this dragon's black, his name is Black now. I mean, what, is it gonna see a white dragon and be like, thinking his name's gonna be White? Yeah, I'm a naming genius. Blue Dragon? That's an RPG. Alright, so we get Milia. So yeah, basically you need to bring Lucan along so Milia can replace somebody in the party without kicking somebody back to base, I guess? Speaking of base, you are probably going to want to go back to base to upgrade Milia a bit, because she is behind in weapons. Not level, though. She's actually pretty high-leveled. The highest level character here, actually. And I'm probably just going to stick her with a killer rune, because that's what I give to all physical fighters. Alright, so, yep, killer rune, level 15 weapon, still level 53. So yeah, with Milia in our party, we're going to be doing a pretty good job. Also, we can, you know, fly a dragon, that's pretty important. But Milia kicks ass. Of course, she's not really that good with magic, as physical fighters usually aren't. Flick is an exception, as are a few other characters. But with this, Thrash will fly us over to Seek Valley, which is normally impossible to get to without a dragon. It's a pretty good sprite, to be fair. Do kind of wish it would move a bit faster, but hey, what are you gonna do? Is that mountain bubbling? Alright, so this is Seek Valley. It's, I mean, the colors... okay, I guess? mean, this is the kind of blue I normally like, but I don't know, applied to rocks it doesn't look amazing. The mountains in this game are typically better than the caves, and that's still kind of true. I like Seek Valley more than I like the Dragon's Den, but this one doesn't look amazing. The crystal's nice, though. Anyway, here's a Queen Ant. Remember when this was a boss we couldn't kill? Well, guess what? Now it's just a normal enemy. Queen Ants are weak to fire, and they only have 800 HP, so they're not really that impressive. To think, early on in the game, we couldn't beat one of those. Just shows you how far we've come. Though technically speaking, I'm pretty sure that last Queen Ant was using a Game Genie. Crystals do look cool as hell, actually. I kind of forgot about that. Okay, maybe I overstated that a little bit. They kind of just throw crystals around, and they look okay in that they're crystals, and crystals always look pretty, but like, you know, it kind of just feels like they dragged and dropped a resource all over the map to make it more interesting. Anyway, these are rock busters. Weak to lightning somehow, also weak to wind, which makes more sense, strong against fire. They've got 600 HP. And their defense, honestly, isn't amazing. Better than the Queen Ants, at least, I'll give them that, but otherwise, they're really nothing all that impressive. And we get another sound setting, geez. We're just getting a lot of these, aren't we? So, left path leads to treasure, but what about the path to the right? Well, all the way up here, if we don't get into a battle first, is a smithy? For some reason the music resets, but here's Mace. Remember all the blacksmiths we've obtained in the game? Yeah, they've all been disciples of this guy, and without them in the party, Mace really isn't interested in joining us. So, yeah, we can't recruit him on our first pass. We'll be back for him later, of course, next draft episode, but yeah, he is the final blacksmith, and the only blacksmith that can bring our weapons up to level 16. Yeah, there's only a one-level difference between the two blacksmiths. If only our blacksmiths were just slightly better, and oh, hi, how's it going? Okay, so that's a wyvern. They're actually dangerous enemies. Rare, I know. They've got 1000 HP, and they're very powerful. Ivy's a little less so. They're weak to fire and electricity, and they only have 250 HP. But, yeah, we want to get rid of that wyvern ASAP, because he's, bad. He's not good. Because he can do that. That's a party attack for a lot of damage. As you might imagine, I don't enjoy that. So, yeah. Let's hope we can kill him within a second round. Thankfully, free-willing that shit. We got to crit him to death, which is a victory in my book. Well, in anyone's book, really. When you win the battle, that is typically a victory. These are some pretty good tips that you can get only here on this channel. Anyway, here's a boss. You might want to heal before fighting this guy, because he's just sort of hanging around here before the checkpoint. That's honestly a bit rude. I mean, this isn't a long dungeon or anything, but Crystal Core here might catch you off guard. Not his first phase. His first phase is easy. He's got 5000 HP, 350 strength, 70 skill, 90 defense, 65 speed, 275 magic, keep that in mind, and 80 luck. He's weak to water and earth, and he's strong against fire, electricity, and wind, and Resurrection Rune will not affect him at all. His first phase, as I said, is very easy, and in fact, I was worried I was actually going to burn through this fight too quickly, because I kept critting him. Once you destroy the crystals surrounding him, though, he goes into his much harder second phase. Now he's just a tiny red orb. This, however, is when he's very dangerous. You know how a lot of enemies have been using, party attacks recently? Guess what he can use? Yeah, so you're gonna want to use a lot of runes, and unfortunately, I had basically nothing he was actually weak to. So, yeah, you might want to bring a water rune. Not just for healing, but also for... Actually, can the first tier water rune actually do damage? I forget. I don't remember all his spells off the top of my head. Right, so this is the attack. He fucking rains energy on us, and it hurts. So, yeah, this is the point at which you're gonna get kinda desperate. Honestly, like, a water rune would have made this much easier, because then I could just party heal and say, nah, I don't feel like actually being close to death this time around, honestly. I would prefer not being almost dead. Thankfully, nothing can really resist the, Death Eater. I keep forgetting the name of that thing. Oh, you know, it's only, like, the most important rune in the game. Whatever. But, yeah, this guy gets fairly defensive, and, as I said, he's got a lot of magic. And now 2 of my characters are almost dead. Meaning if we don't win this battle now, somebody's gonna get dropped. And I only have 1 use of the shredding. That's great. Yeah, I'll be honest, this was my first run of this dude, so, was kind of panicking at this point. 'Cause he did bring me pretty close to death. He does have a lot of HP. The second half of this fight is clearly, it's clearly got more HP than the first. Thankfully, though, due to a combination of a lot of crits and, I guess, perseverance, he went down. Which, again, is good, because I almost died. I did not want Millie to die, because she's new, and she's cool, and I like her, so, you know, if she had gotten knocked out, I would have reset, and that's a lot of money. But yeah, thankfully, also, Crystal Core, or whatever it's called. It was Crystal Core. Thankfully, it's also very slow, because if it acted, like, first or in the middle of the round, that could have turned out far, far worse. And we got the Cyclone Crystal, hooray! Not that that would have helped that much for that battle, considering he's strong against wind, but, you know, would have been nice. I would have liked having that. Alright, well, this looks like the end, so hopefully that's the good shit. Very reassuring. Is that the Moonlight Weed? I guess. Certainly hope so. Otherwise, we're gonna have to go to some of those background platforms. It's my stash, I'll never let you have it! Flick, this is Wendy, supposedly super powerful witch. I saw her use Fire Dot GIF on a village once, which is like the most powerful spell of all, so I don't know if we should really be fucking with her. Oh, Soul Eater, fuck! I called it the Death Eater earlier, god damn it. I keep fucking up its name. I'm gonna keep it even if I can't remember its name. Wait a second. The Ted I know welcomed death. I'm not giving you the Soul Eater. I like how Milia, who has, like, no connection to this whatsoever, kind of just awkwardly moves the plot forward. Oh, I guess that was your best friend. Anyway, here's the good shit. Alright, so, good news. We can use a fucking escape talisman to get back to the beginning of the dungeon. Cool, right? I love it when I'm able to do this. Anyway, though, anybody else think it's unfair that Tio's death sucked, but, like, Ted gets 2 good send-offs? I mean, like, Ted wasn't the best when he was around. He does kinda death flag himself a little bit. But he still gets 2 better death scenes than the main character's own father, which, I guess to be fair, Ted is his best friend, which technically makes him better, I guess? I still think Gremio has the best death scene, though. Or Pawn if he actually dies, but that's not canon anyway. Yeah, here's the moonlight weed. Anyway, Mir had some fucked up shit he had to deal with. I didn't understand a word of it. Like, who the fuck was Wendy anyway? Wait, what? How? Really? That's... Is it extinct everywhere else? Well, it's a little bit contrived, but certainly no less dangerous. Yeah, so now Futch is flying to the Emperor's Palace at Gregminster. You know, the place where we were at the start of the game, also known as the enemy stronghold? Yeah, so, here comes Futch. He's ready. He's gonna fuck him up. He's gonna find that black dragon orchid. Oh, let me tell you, Futch is here to save the day. Okay, so let's hope we don't get into any fights, otherwise we're kinda screwed. Anyway, anything... oh, is this it right here? Well, I mean, I guess he did show me that textbook picture once, so, I'll go with this. Oh, hi Barbarossa, how's it going? Well, Futch, it was nice knowing ya. I hope you weren't one of the 108 Stars of Destiny, cause, you're going to be eviscerated. Say you lost your volleyball here. Because you're really good at volleyball. Like, too good. You fucked up real bad. Cause you've just got a killer serve that brought you up to the top of the Emperor's Palace. Oh yeah, just give him your name, why don't you? Hey, here's my address just in case you want to kill me later. Oh, that Wendy, always poisoning dragons. Have I ever told you she looks like my dead wife? Crazy, right? Alright, so after Futch is done being paralyzed with fear, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, you might want to leave before he, you know, decides to kill you and all that. Should probably leave before something bad happens. Oh, like that. Maybe a very angry Wendy could arrive. A very angry Wendy who just lost the good shit. And Futch has the right idea here. Let's just fucking peace out. Oh, how nice. Hey, I know your dragon friend died, but he smelled. Why don't you use a sword instead? I'm Flick. I'm great with emotions. Anyway, honestly, Futch's characterization seems kinda different from what it was at the beginning. Because when we first met him, he was kind of a shit, but here he was, you know, he's fairly normal throughout most of this arc, and kinda heroic even, and him losing his dragon friend is tragic. So, yeah, Fudge joined us after all this time, and, you know, I'm glad he's kind of less obnoxious. Speaking of obnoxious, here's Kryn. I have to side with Kasumi here. Kryn, you do suck a lot. You're kinda the worst. Okay, like, could you specify who that is? Because, you know, as the commander, Mir should kind of know about a spy? Be really nice to know. Anybody? Kasumi? You're the more reasonable one here. Kasumi, come on. Spy. Spy me. Come on. Tell me who the spy is. Come on. Ah, great. Well, I can't wait for the spy to be revealed at the worst possible moments. At least I'll be able to blame it on Kryn. So yeah, that was the entire arc. I know it was all done in one video, but it was a nearly hour-long video, so, you know, decent length, but, yeah, we finished it up, and even if it was a little on the short side, only a few dungeons in it, I don't think it was too rushed. I think it was actually paced pretty well. Next time we're going to be doing another arc, and we're actually going to have voting for it, without a draft episode first.